Welcome back. A new television program, Sofa Silahlane, explores relationships that are outside the mainstream. A topic that appears to South African audiences that it is something they've been waiting for a long time. And the show has showcased polygamous gay relationships, a man marrying two sisters, and a lover moving in with a married couple. There are many more. And well-known investigative journalist Mzilikazi, Afrika, is the unlikely host of this show that has generated such a substantial following. And he's here to receive my congratulations and well wishes. Mzee, pleasure to have you on the show.
Thanks for having me.
And it's deliberate that I say unlikely host. You see,
I get you. I get you.
Who would have associated you with a show of that nature, right? And I find it interesting, firstly, that you are able to uncover these stories and the empathy with which you bring to the program. You know, a hard-nosed investigative journalist like yourself, people would not associate with being this polite, civil, and empathizing host that you have become.
The issue is like I'm a human being,
Yeah.
so I'm not like that. The issue is the show. You need to be more, bring fun and lightness to it, because sometimes you're dealing with heavy stuff, but you need to be more to offload that heaviness, just to make sure that people follow it and understand and laugh and think about themselves in the same similar situation.
And take you into confidence, for that matter. When I can imagine when people are willing to share their own personal feelings with a complete stranger like and allow this to be taken to people's homes across the country.
Live on television.
Yeah,
it is, when CITV approached me like in November last year with the concept, and I look at it, I said, like, guys, that's not me. And then I went on holiday to think about it, and then I spoke to a number of my friends, and some of them said, no, don't do it. This is like not you. And then my son, he's like 16, he said that, let's just go and have fun. You've been working very hard as an investigative journalist. This is time for you to have fun, to relax, and just do it. And I'm like, okay, I'll do it. And it's been very interesting show, you know, like we've been trending #1 for weeks and weeks, week out. And I think people are loving because we are bringing the taboo love stories that many people know of, but they don't want to talk about.
Sure.
Yes.
Now, who brings the stories to you?
We've got a team of researchers. Basically, they come up with the story ideas. We meet and we brainstorm them. I will say, like, I like this one, but we need to take it this direction. We need to go and look for this person, this uncle, this aunt, and this. So then at the end of the day, we agree and they go back and do. Then we get ready to go on the road and record.
But who convinces these individuals who appear on your show that it's the right thing, it's a reasonable thing to do? Not that they shouldn't be on television, but I mean, some of the stuff one would think people would rather keep it private, but they seem to be very forthcoming when they talk to you.
To a certain extent, the CEO is from time to time, not always, is forced to make the phone call just to say, guys, it's your story. If you are proud about it, why can't you share it with other like-minded people? So, but from time to time, the researchers themselves, they'll phone whoever is involved, say, we are from this television station, this is what we are doing, and we're thinking that your story is in line with this program, Sofa Silahlane. Would you like us to come and sit down with you and have a talk? Then we start negotiating from there.
What is the story that you felt very involved in, or at least the people that you think, as you were talking to them, putting the story together, you got a bit of a connection to? You know, they were friendly and took you into their complete confidence in terms of what was going on in their lives.
You see, for me, it's the story about Jeffrey Mkhonto. The reason it's so connected to me, and that was the first story, is because when Jeffrey was kidnapped and castrated and his private parts sold for Muti many years ago, about 15 years ago, I was one of the journalists who interviewed him at that point in time. So now when this show was presented to me, I thought, like, this guy, now he should be an adult. He's supposed to be having wife, kids and stuff, but he had all this unfortunate incident that happened to him. Why can't we go back and revisit that story? And then when we went back there, we found out that there was this kind of an arrangement where his brother decided, because now of the situation, to get a wife for him. So during the day, it's his wife, and at night, it's his brother's wife. It's an arrangement that the three of them have agreed to.
And the wife is okay with
She's
that?
happy with the arrangement, yes.
Okay. And of course, it's a very, very personal thing to him because of what happened to him.
Yeah, more especially it's my homeboy from Bushbuckridge,
Yes,
you know,
yes.
like the story. That's why when it happened many years ago, I knew about it because people at home were talking about it. So for my first show, I started at home.
So far, what is the most unusual story that you've come across? In a way, the one that you've just told me about speaks for itself, that it is possible something like that could happen. But hey, a lot of various things happening out there, right? And people are making unusual choices, if one may call it that.
There are two stories for two different reasons. Okay, one story is the story about Puseletso from Bottersville in Free State.
Oh yes,
the woman with two husbands.
Yeah, I think I saw that one.
So for me, you know, like yes, we've got polygamy marriages where men have got. For me, it was the first time where like, and these guys are happy with the arrangement.
Yeah.
Other one sleep on the floor, the other one on the bed. They all go out. They're all happy with the whole arrangement.
Yeah.
Then the next, which was sad for me, is the story about Fanama Pumulo. So Fanama Pumulo has been dating his fiancée for 28 years.
Yeah.
On the day of their wedding, just 2 hours before the wedding starts, she dies.
Oh, that's very sad, yeah.
But then what does he do? He continues with the wedding.
Yes.
And to this day, he's still wearing the ring. He's not married someone else. He's still loyal to his fiancée. Because he said, I promised this woman that she'll be mine for the rest of my life. Yeah. Now, even though she's gone, I've officially married her, and now I need to live with her.
And one could argue or make a case that, you know, for 28 years, he was basically married to her.
Yes. The issue is he didn't have a job. That's why he couldn't go and have this wedding and all of that. But now he had planned it for all these years with all the peace jobs that he's doing, collecting all the money, and then now he planned the big day, and unfortunately, it didn't happen the way they planned.
And for you, I mean, as an investigative journalist who looks at the underbelly of South Africa, right, stuff that happens in the dark that is of public interest, what is the experience like when you go around researching Sofa Silahlane as compared to investigating the political or criminal type high-profile stories that you are known for?
I think people out there, they're willing to come up with these stories because they think like it's what makes out South Africans, that many of us are not aware that, you know, in Davidton, this is how there's this whole incident there, people are aware of it and they accept it. So that's why Sofa Silahlane, I say, is the show that brings you untold South African stories.
Sure.
The stories are there, but because most people are like, we hear about them, then we say, no, it can't be.
Why do you think audiences love these stories? I mean, you said you're number one every week. You trend whenever you say this is coming up. A lot of people engage with the show. You know, not only watch it but talk about it.
I think because we're bringing something new on the table. There've been a lot of television shows, but now we are bringing something new on the table, and we're not like doing all the shoot around the suburbs and stuff like that.
Where the people are, right? With real people.
We go to the villages, we go to the townships, we go everywhere. And people are happy that at least these guys have come to us and they are interested in our stories, in our own village, in our own township, not unlike people like doing stories in suburbs and all of that.
And for you personally, what has this new venture meant for you? I mean, you've moved from, I haven't even touched on the music because it's a conversation for another time. And you are not locked in the newsroom the whole time writing your stories or going undercover to... What does it mean to you as a person?
For me, I always say that traveling is the best education because you travel to a different place, different town. We might all be speaking the same language, but we live differently, we behave differently because of the environment that way. For me, it also helped me to understand the South Africa that I love, the way that I live in, because I don't know everything that happened in South Africa. I might be locked up into the politics of South Africa, but what happens in Mlazi, KwaMashu, Mthatha, I might not know. So this show helped me to go out there, sit down with the people, go to that township and understand what exactly is happening there. And along the line, I pick up stories that I can be for the paper that I work for.
So the show is on which channel? So for those who may not have watched it and wondering why we are talking about it.
It's on DSTV channel 157.
Yeah.
It's at on Thursday at 9:30 p.m.
So it's not competition to us.
No, not at all. Not at
Thanks
all.
very much, Mzi, for being our guest. And that's the host of Sofa Silahlane. He keeps a straight face, though. You know, some of the situations I find odd and funny, but he doesn't laugh. And of course, I love the fact that the guests themselves on the show take him into confidence. They somehow trust him. And we must share lessons of how you go about becoming a trustworthy host of such a show. That's Mzi wa Afrika, who writes for the Sunday Times, our guest on the show. That's all we had for you. And till next time, good night to you.